Hello, I am Dr. Muhammad Wais, working as Assistant Professor of Physics in Government College for Men, Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh. The topic of today's my presentation is nuclear fission. And the context of my today's presentation is I will be discussing the history of nuclear fission and what is the definition of fission and how the process of nuclear fission takes place and what is the amount of energy that is being coming out of the nuclear fission and the chain reaction and what are the different applications, that is the usage of nuclear fission. So let us start the presentation. As we all know that the world has seen two world wars. The first world war, it started in 1914 and lasted up to 1919, and the second world war, which started from 1939 to 1945. Do you know what is the reason the second world war coming to a halt suddenly? Yes, it is due to the nuclear bombing of two cities of Japan by the United States of America. So the first bomb, which we call it as Little Boy, the name of the bomb given to is Little Boy, it was dropped on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. So it was a uranium-235 gun-type bomb, and the moment the bomb was dropped, it causes a lot of devastation and killing thousands of people across the Japan. So almost under certain estimates that 80,000 to 1,40,000 people killed instantly. So this is the only the actual figures, but the repulsive effect, that is the effect of due to the emission of nuclear radiation of that bomb, was very large, and some say that it lasted for several years. That is the the pregnant women who were carrying the child, and the child were bombed with the child was born with certain limbs defect. All these things are the repercussions of the atomic bomb. The second bomb was the Fat Man, which was dropped by the United States of America on August 9th. It was dropped on Nagasaki, and it also created a huge devastation. And let us understand what is meant by actual nuclear fission, because the the principle behind the principle behind the construction of these atomic bombs is nuclear fission. So let us see what is the history of the nuclear fission. It was first started by Hans and Strassmann. In the year 1939, Meitner and Frisch, they first identified that the process of nuclear fission. So they just saw that when a heavy nucleus is being split up into two parts, the energy is being released. So this process was actually explained by Strassmann and Otto Hahn. So their statement was that when they bombarded the uranium, so uranium is a nucleus, so when they bombarded the uranium 235 nucleus with the small lighter particles like neutrons, so when they're bombarding those neutrons with the heavier nucleus, then that heavier nucleus is being split up into lighter nuclei and the energy is being released. This was their statement first, and that is how we define the nuclear fission. So the nuclear fission is nothing but a process in which a heavier nucleus is splitting into two or more lighter nuclei. So the moment the fragments split up, the energy is being released into the atmosphere. So why is the energy released? Why? Because when the heavy nucleus is being formed, then there is a factor which we call it as a mass defect. And according to Einstein principle, when the splitting up of nucleus is being taking place, then there is a small loss of mass. So that mass is being converted into energy. So that is the reason why when the splitting up of heavier nucleus is being taking place into smaller fragments, then the energy is being released into the atmosphere. So this figure shows this is a small nucleus, and this is a neutron, and this is a small nucleus. That is how the splitting up of the heavier nuclei into smaller nuclei is being taking place. If you observe here, another important factor is that in the process of nuclear fission, one neutron comes and bombards the heavier nucleus and splits up into two smaller fragments, two or more smaller fragments, and the resultant is the emission of energy. At the same time, the three neutrons are also being released in this process. These play a very important role in the process of continuing the nuclear fission. So this is the formula, that is the equation of nuclear fission. That is how the process is being split up. So this is a small neutron. So once it comes and bombards the heavier nucleus like uranium 235, this uranium is being split up into two parts, that is the two or more parts, and apart from these, it is also seen that in the figure, three neutrons are being released. These are high speed neutrons. So this is the chemical equation, that is the neutron coming and hitting the nucleus uranium 235, and an unstable nucleus is formed, and after some time it splits up into two smaller nuclei of barium and krypton. So the resultant is barium and krypton plus three neutrons plus the energy. So even though the energy appears to be very low, that is in the process of fission, the amount of energy that is being released is 200 million electron volt. 200 million electron volt. If you compare it with the energy that is being released when the fossil fuel is being burnt. So when the fossil fuel is being burnt, the amount of energy released per molecule is 6.5 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Okay, so when you compare it with the amount of energy being released in a process of fission, it is 3.2 into 10 to the power of minus 11 joule. So almost it is somewhat low when you compare it with the fossil fuel. But if you take the number of atoms into consideration, so the number of atoms is nothing but 1 mole of uranium will be consisting of Avogadro number of atoms, that is the 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 atoms. You see here, one uranium atom is giving this amount of energy, that is a 2.35 into 10 to the power of minus 11 joules of energy. When the amount of energy released by the 1 kg of uranium fission is being taking place, then you just see here that the total energy released is 2.385 into 10 to the power of minus 11 multiplied by this factor. The total energy is 6 multiplied by 10 to the power of 13 joule. So 10 to the power of 13 means after 6 we have to put almost like some 13 zeros. If you put 7 zeros, it becomes 1 billion, and if you put 13 zeros, means it is more than hundreds of billions of joules of energy is being released when the fission of one uranium atom is being taking place. Now you can imagine if a bomb of tons of weight of uranium is being exploded, then what could have been the result. So that is the factor which led to the huge devastation of the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and led to the death of so many lakhs of people being killed. And why this process is a continuous one. Why we call it as continuous means, as I have shown in the earlier slides, that in the process of fission the end product is 3 neutrons. So these 3 neutrons after one fission process will continue the fission process and goes on fissioning the 3 uranium atoms. So when the 3 uranium atoms fission of 3 uranium atoms takes place, then the result is 9 neutrons. Then 9 becomes 27, 27 becomes 81. This type of reaction which continuously going on unless it is controlled is called a chain reaction. So it is starting by one uranium atom, one neutron, and the result is thousands of neutrons and thousands of fission process. So when it is uncontrolled chain reaction, that is being used in the manufacturing of atomic bombs. So it goes uncontrolled and the continuous fission goes on and resulting in the release of thousands of joules of energy, resulting in a vast destruction. but at the same time, if you are able to control the chain reaction process, then we can use this the energy being liberated in the fission process for the production of electrical energy. So this is what being done in a nuclear power plant. In the nuclear power plant, the fission process is being controlled by using control rods and different types of construction mechanism, which can be shown in the figure here, the nuclear which we call it as a nuclear power plant. So the energy that is being liberated here, that is used to draw the turbines, and this turbine will rotate and produce the alternating electric field. So this electric field can be used for the civilian purposes. So these are the phenomena on which the nuclear power plants work. So in the fission process, the energy liberated is used to make water vapor. That water vapor draws the turbines. The turbines generate the AC field, and the AC field is used for civilian purpose. So this, in the figure, you can show you can see a nuclear power plant. So thank you very much for your patient hearing, and this is the end of the topic. So thank you very much.